Alright, what's going on, friends? In this video I am going to show you how to replace your brake pads on your Toyota Tundra. Now I have a 2007. This should be real similar to many of the other years. I have my truck jacked up. I have it on jack stands on both right and left side, and I still have my jack in here. I lowered it down just a little bit and it's sitting mostly on my jack stands. This is just for safety. And I put a couple of chalk blocks on my front tire. Yeah, you can never be too safe. So let me go over some of the tools that I'm gonna use. And I just went to my local auto parts store and I bought some brakes. All you need to know is what your truck you have, and if you have a 4.7 liter or a 5.7 liter. They may be the same brakes, I'm not sure, but just so you know what truck you have, and go to the auto parts store and buy yourself some brakes. Some come just with brakes and some come with brakes and hardware. I'll show you the hardware on there. I didn't get new hardware, but I'll show you if you did get new hardware what you have to do. So let's go over my tools. All right, I have a torque wrench and I have a couple wire brushes I may use, and maybe at least just one flat tip screwdriver and a 17 millimeter socket. Maybe I'll use the 17 millimeter wrench. I have a small little breaker bar. C-clamp that's going to help push my piston back in. And I live in wonderful Pennsylvania and everything is rusty, so I have a sledgehammer to try to get my bolts unstuck. And you may want some eye protection, some brake parts cleaner, and I have some brake caliper grease, and then my new brakes. All right, let me get this tire off. Okay, now I'm going to remove the brake caliper. You got to take out this slide bolt and this slide bolt. It's a 17 millimeter. If you live anywhere near somewhere where you get a lot of road salt, everything is rusted. So I'm putting my wrench on and tap it a couple times with my sledgehammer. It'll break that free. Break that one free, and you should be able to use your ratchet. Now my plans are, I'm getting rid of my truck soon, so I'm only changing these brakes out so I can pass my inspection. So if I was going to keep this a lot longer, I may replace my rotors. If these were the front rotors, I definitely would replace them, but take these all out, pull them out. Maybe wipe them off so they're nice and clean. And then we're going to put some of that brake caliper grease on here. That way they'll slide good. Just clean them up. Now see if your caliper will come off. If it don't come off, you may have to take your screwdriver. Let's see if I can show you guys this. I'm going to stick my screwdriver in here. Right there's the brake pad on the back side. And I'm going to just try to pull on this a little bit and try to open them up just a little bit. I think I got it. Almost. Maybe a little bit more. It's hard to do that when I have a camera in my hand. This is your piston right here. We're gonna have to push this back in with that C-clamp. Just lay this down here. Don't let this hang off of the hose here. You don't want to break one of your brake lines. All right. I'm gonna carefully try to clean these up a little bit. Watch these rubber pieces. Pull these old brakes out. Pry that old brake out. Pry this old brake out. See, this is what I'm calling hardware. So if yours came with new hardware, you can put this, take these old ones out, take them out one at a time, and make sure you put your hardware back in exactly the same way. Like your new hardware will have these little tabs on it. So make sure you put them back in exactly the same way. I'm just going to pull mine out, clean them up a little bit. Here's my last piece of hardware. I took it off and just sprayed brake cleaner on these and run my little wire brush over it. And they clean up pretty decent. It's a lot easier if you have new ones, but let me put this one back on. That's in. Now, I'll show you a little trick. Let me take this one back off. All right, when you go, if you're just cleaning yours up and you just lay them down in here, you can always take your flat tip screwdriver and push it down in. Make sure that's laying good and flat down in there, or it's going to be a pain to get your brakes on. Now you can take one of your new brakes and your old brake, and before you start trying to put them together, lay them together and make sure they are the same, just in case somehow somebody gave you the wrong brakes. Now, it's pretty self-explanatory. You shouldn't probably be changing your brakes if you don't know which way to put these on, but this metal piece is not going to go toward your rotor. I'm going to put a little bit of this brake caliper grease right here. Help me get these on. And over on this side. And then take my brake in and I'm going to push it against these pieces here and then flop it back in place. Like that. There. And then do the same with this. There's a little grease on here. On this side. If you're having trouble getting your brakes on, you can take you can take this whole piece off right here. There are two more bolts back here. There's one right here and one right here. They're both 17 millimeter. Just take them off. You can take this whole piece off and you'll be able to take your hardware out and clean that out a little bit better. And then you could slide your brakes on just a little bit and then put it on your rotor. All right, I got both my new brakes on. All right, now you're gonna push this piston back inside. We're gonna do it slowly. I'm gonna put one of my old brakes right over top of that piston. Slowly push it back in. Okay. Slowly push that back in so all your brake fluid will go back into your reservoir. Okay, now my piston's back in. All right, before you put your brakes back together, put a little grease right on this part of your brakes. That way everything will move freely. Keep that from sticking on there. Put it on the other one too, so the piston will push against there nice. I like to do that last and not put that on there before I put my brakes on so you don't get grease all over your hands. Not that my hands are clean. All right, put your piston back on there after you greased up both sides of your brakes. Make sure these rubber pieces go back inside here on both sides. Take your slides, put a little grease on there. Slide that in there. Put a little grease on your other one. That one in there. You can put your, if you have a torque wrench, these are torqued at 65 foot-pounds. If you have aluminum rims, these lug nuts are torqued down to 97 foot-pounds. All right, very good. Oh, and one last thing. When you pull your truck out of your driveway or out of your garage, make sure you pump your brakes a couple times just to make sure you got that piston sitting against them brakes. That way you'll know everything is working fine. All right, hope that helped you install some new brakes on your Toyota Tundra. Check out some of my other videos I have here on my YouTube channel. They're all real simple, easy to follow. Leave me a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. God bless and have a great day.